Andy Cohen did not hold back when asked about the surprising cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Speaking candidly on the red carpet of the Las Culturistas Culture Awards, the Watch What Happens Live host reflected on what this change means for late-night television and why it feels like the end of an era. "I think it's a sad day for late-night television," Andy began, clearly affected by the news. At 57 years old, Andy has witnessed the evolution of late-night shows from the dominance of legends like Johnny Carson and David Letterman to the modern mix of comedy, politics, and cultural commentary. The idea that CBS would pull the plug on The Late Show struck him as deeply symbolic. "It's a sad day for CBS too," he added, underscoring how much Colbert had become part of the network's identity. Stephen Colbert, known for his razor-sharp wit and thoughtful interviews, has long been celebrated as more than just a comedian. For many viewers, he represented a nightly ritual, a voice that balanced humor with moments of sincerity, helping audiences make sense of an increasingly complex world. Andy seemed to capture this sentiment perfectly. "Stephen is a singular talent," he continued. "He's going to have an incredible next chapter." His words weren't just polite praise. They reflected an understanding of Colbert's unique ability to connect with people beyond punchlines and political jokes. What struck Andy most was CBS's decision to turn off the lights at 11:30 after the local news, as he put it. The time slot after local news has, for decades, belonged to the flagship late-night show. First, it was The Tonight Show and The Late Show, then Late Night on NBC, and so on. These shows weren't just entertainment. They were cultural landmarks that shaped the national conversation and offered audiences a comforting, consistent presence before bedtime. To see CBS abandon this tradition felt almost unthinkable to Andy. Andy's reaction seemed especially heartfelt when he talked about how Colbert's show was one of 3 late-night shows deemed worthy enough for an Emmy nomination. This wasn't just about ratings or commercial success. It was about recognition of quality and impact in a crowded media landscape. Colbert's humor, often clever and satirical, struck a balance between entertainment and commentary that many shows could only aspire to achieve. It's hard not to see Andy's words as part nostalgia and part warning. Over the years, late-night television has shifted dramatically. Streaming platforms, social media, and viral videos have all challenged the once dominant format of a nightly show with a live audience and celebrity guests. The cancellation of The Late Show feels like another sign that this classic formula is fading away. Yet there's also hope in Andy's words. "He's going to have an incredible next chapter," Andy repeated, suggesting that Colbert's talent isn't tied to a single format or network. If anything, the end of The Late Show might free him to explore new creative paths, perhaps a return to his improvisational roots, or a fresh show that better fits today's on-demand culture. For fans, this moment is bittersweet. The abrupt end of Colbert's show is undeniably sad, but it's also a chance to appreciate what made it special. Colbert wasn't just another host behind a desk. He was a performer, interviewer, and thinker who brought warmth and authenticity to late-night TV. From his emotional monologues after national tragedies to playful banter with guests, Colbert created moments that resonated far beyond the walls of the Ed Sullivan Theater. Andy Cohen, who himself has redefined what a talk show can look like with Watch What Happens Live, understands better than most what it means to keep audiences engaged night after night. His respect for Colbert feels genuine, born out of shared experience in an industry where longevity is rare and reinvention is essential. As late-night television faces this turning point, Andy's words serve as both tribute and reminder. Singular talents like Stephen Colbert don't just disappear when the cameras stop rolling. They evolve, surprise, and often return stronger than before. Whether it's on TV, streaming, or something entirely new, fans can look forward to seeing where Colbert's journey leads next. In the meantime, the lights going dark at 11:30 will feel strange. It marks not just the end of a show, but the end of a chapter in television history, one defined by humor, commentary, and a host who made millions feel like they were part of the conversation. And as Andy Cohen made clear, that loss will be felt deeply by audiences, colleagues, and an entire industry shaped by what The Late Show represented.